Okay, everyone. Happy Halloween! Happy Halloweeny! I have to get started on my door, but I figured I better go ahead and say hi to you guys. My husband's still at the hospital. Well, back at the hospital. He came home, got home at a little bit after 2 last night, aka early hours this morning, and they had admitted my mother-in-law. Excuse me. Because they had to do a blood transfusion. So the whole issue is, where did her blood go? You know, why did it go so low? So they started her blood transfusion at almost 2 o'clock this morning a.m. and are still working on it as we speak. So they said it'll probably be almost 2 p.m. before it's done, because they're giving her 4 units of blood, and they said it would take anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours to give her the blood because of her age, because they don't like to pump it in real fast for somebody that age. My socks are getting all twisted and it's bugging me. Anyway, we still had not gotten the x-rays back last night, and as of this morning we still haven't gotten them back. So as soon as I know more, I will let you guys know. But as of right now, she is admitted, and we're not real sure what exactly is going on. So they think this problem was not caused from her falling. So I don't know, we'll see. So my husband called me back, and the gastro doctor had been in there, and they think she may have had, they think she's got hemorrhoids, which is fine. I mean, it happens. But when they asked her, or asked Andy about her stools, of course he doesn't know, he doesn't check it. I don't check it. And then they asked her, they said, well, were they brown, were they red, were they black? Oh, they were black, But of course she kind of blows things out of proportion. You know, when Andy came in, she told him that she was going to have to be there a month. Anyway, of course she does have dementia, so, but anyway, so after the doctor left, Andy called me, and I said, well, all you do is call me. I cleaned it up the other day. It was not black, like tar black. It was not. It was dark, but it was not black. And there was no sign of any blood. If it was just hemorrhoids, seems that as constipated as she was, and boy, this is really TMI, and I apologize, but it seems like as constipated as she was, had it been hemorrhoids, there would have been some bright red blood from rupturing, you know, on the way out, but there wasn't any blood. And I'm not saying that there wasn't in her stools and that that's what some of the darkness was. I'm not saying that, because I don't know that. So they're going to test her blood again here in a little bit. They're still finishing up the last bag of blood, and it's almost 1 o'clock p.m. now. They're going to give her this last bag of blood, then they're going to test her blood again, and then depending on what that blood test shows, if it's low, then obviously they need to do a scope or something. If it's within the normal range, then they're going to wait until in the morning, do another blood test, and if it's low, then they have to scope her. But we got to find out where the blood's going. So we don't know. We don't know any more than we did. So Anyway, that's kind of where we're at for now. And just hoping and praying that, you know, she doesn't have to have any kind of surgeries. And even scoping her at her age, it's not good. You know, she's 88 years old. It's not good for somebody that age. So, because their bodies are so much more fragile. So, anyway, we will wait and see what happens. I'm waiting to hear back from you. So, we never have heard about the x-rays. So, I'm assuming a radiologist is reading them. Because I know she's got a bunch of compression fractures in her spine. I mean, more than 50% of her back of her actual spine has compression fractures in it. It's that bad for her. It was a year ago. And they said it wasn't going to get any better. You know, so if anything, it would get worse. So I guess we'll see. You know, we'll just kind of hold on and see what we find out later, and hopefully we find out something. Because how do you know what to treat if you don't know what's wrong? That's what I wonder. How do you know what to give her if you don't know what's wrong with her? And they didn't give her any of her dementia medicine last night. So she'll be in a tailspin for that, for sure. Anyway, I am going to get busy painting my door because it's, like I said, almost 1 o'clock and I haven't done it yet. Anyway, working on my laundry and about to paint my door. Ouch. Gotta go get my son's. We're gonna get him started on his medicine. Boy, when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? It'll get better. Always does. So, I'll talk to you guys in a while. It's turned out to be a beautiful day before I leave. It was rainy. It's cold. Now the wind's blowing, so to me it's cold. It's actually, if the wind was not blowing, it would just be cool, nice temperatures. But with the wind blowing, it makes it cold. So I don't like that. But it was rainy and stuff earlier, and we're supposed to have rain tonight, which is Halloween night. Poor kids. But right now, the sun's shining. It's gorgeous. So I don't know what the weather's going to do. Anyway, we got a Halloween marathon on AMC. Talk to you guys in a while. Alright, so my husband came home to take a nap and got the x-rays back, and gratefully they did not show any major breaks or anything like that, only just the compression fractures that she has had. What I'm saying was, no breaks, so we still know what's causing the bleeding, so they're going to keep her at least till tomorrow and run more tests on her, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I gotta go to the store with my son, and I also have to pick up his medication, so I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so my sister-in-law showed up at the hospital, and my concern was she's got a bunch of health problems, but every time she talks to my mother-in-law about it, she stresses her out, which sends her into a tailspin. And so I told my husband I didn't want her talking to my mother-in-law about those things because we didn't need a whole bunch of delusions and hallucinations while she's at the hospital. So as my sister-in-law was going in through the emergency department because she couldn't find any other entrance, which just happens to be right there next to the emergency department, she kind of fell against a wall. You know how you topple over a little bit? That's what she did. So they took her up to my mother-in-law's room in a wheelchair. And my husband had come home to take a nap and eat dinner. So he didn't even know she was up there and that all that happened. Well, my mother-in-law's sister and her husband came up there, and my mother-in-law didn't even recognize them. She kept calling her sister, who is Bernice, She kept calling her Vera or Verna or something like that, even though they kept telling her, no, that's your sister Bernice. And then my mother-in-law kept calling my sister-in-law, which is her daughter, Juanita, which is one of my mother-in-law's other sisters who has passed. And then when she said, no, Mom, it's me, Kay, then she recognized her. So anyway, since Kay has been there, we had those issues, and then my mother-in-law told all of them that she was in the hospital because somebody hit her car. She hasn't driven in a year. Hadn't had a car, let alone, she hadn't even had a car key in over a year, or about a year. Well, the week before Thanksgiving, it'll be a year. Okay, so, let's see. She said that the detective on Law and Order SVU, which is what they were watching, was telling her she needed to get up and come with him. So all these delusions started after she was wheeled in there with a wheelchair. And every time that she's been over here and she's talked to my mother-in-law about all of her health problems because she's diabetic and she doesn't take care of herself, so she had bleeding behind the eyes and those things that they had to go in and fix. Well, if she had been taking care of herself, the probability of that stuff happening to her was not very high. Well, she wasn't taking care of herself. So every time she's come over here and she's told my mother-in-law all of these things, my mother-in-law has been in a delusional state for days afterward. And then come to find out she didn't have the dementia medicine last night because even though my husband told them what she's taking, he didn't have her prescriptions with him. He had written them down so he wouldn't have to worry about losing the bottles or anything like that. Thinking, they're going to give her medicine. They didn't. They expected him to bring her medicine up there to give to her. So, she didn't have her dementia medicine. Which, if I'd have known that, if he'd have said something to me, I'd have drove the shit up there. So, anyway, he just headed back up there, and I don't know, I don't know how they're going to get her calmed down. Gratefully, she didn't break anything. However, we still got to find out where the blood went and why she got anemic. So, we don't know, and she's constipated again. So, they said something about giving her an enema, which, if she's got hemorrhoids, that's going to burn her like that. I mean, it's not physically going to burn her like firewood, but it's going to burn like, ooh, that hurts burn. I don't know. So my husband's on, like I said, on his way back up there. One good thing that came of all of this was when he got home last night, he and I ended up having a wonderful conversation about communication and our lack thereof that we've had for the last 6 months or so. And we both vowed to make it better and try harder, because neither one of us want to give up on our marriage. We shouldn't have to over communication. So, and while my mother-in-law being here has been more stressful, it's not what caused the problem. It just kind of amplified it, I need to go wash my hair. I made breakfast for dinner, so I fried bacon and sausage, and you know how grease gets everywhere with that, so I gotta clean up that mess. Well, I cleaned up my kitchen, now I gotta clean up this mess. But I got the rest of the coat put on the door and another coat put on top of it, and then I have to wait till tomorrow to finish it up and do another coat on it. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm really gonna like it. And now I'm just gonna babble for a little bit, and I apologize for that, but I got a lot to say. And my best friend called her, I told you that I got a wedding tomorrow night and her daughter's getting married. Well, come to find out, earlier today, their photographer called and backed out on them, said that looks like a fire. that their kids had ball games, so they're not going to be able to make it. Usually you get a ball game schedule in advance with children. I'm going to see what's going on here. I may need to call the fire department. Hang on just a minute. Anyway, I put my foot in my mouth. I told her that my son had a professional camera because, you know, that's what he's studying, and I could ask him if I could use it, and then I would do the photos for him. And I should have talked to him first. He was real rude, you know, and I asked him if it would be okay after I talked to her, and he kind of gave me this look like, you know, you should have asked me first type thing. And that's when it hit me, son of a bitch, I really should have. That's rude. So he was nice enough to go in there and start deleting stuff off his memory card, and I said, first off, you wouldn't have had to delete anything off your memory card. I would have used my vlogging memory card for that. And I said, secondly, I should have asked you first, so I don't want to use it. That was rude of me to just assume it would be okay. So, and he still said, yeah, Mom, it's fine. But I'm not going to take it. I think she found somebody else. And then she also told me that the woman at the church came in and said, you're going to have the wedding march burned on a CD because our pianist and organist don't know how to play that song. Does this seem abnormal to you guys? Because it kind of does to me. Anyway, I asked her if there was anything I could do to help because she's waiting to have shoulder surgery. In the last couple of days, she's just really overdone it and hurt herself worse, so I told her I'd show up early and help them finish up with the final touches, and if I needed to, I'd go out there tonight. But she said that they were about to leave there tonight. So tomorrow I'm going to show up early and do what I can, and then I'll do my makeup and hair after I help them out. But, you know, it's one of those, when it rains it pours. But my spirit is a giving spirit, and I always like to try and help people or do whatever I can to help people whenever they need something, especially people that I love and care about. And I mean, my gosh, she's been my best friend since I was a year old. It's 43 years. So, it's a long time. Anyway, I might go ahead and video it for them, just here on my vlogging camera, because I can change some of the settings and make it a better quality. It does take up more memory, so I haven't done that for my vlogging because I didn't think it was necessary. Anyway, they're keeping my mother-in-law again overnight. We don't know when she's gonna get to come home. But when my husband got there this morning, she said, the nurse just came in and told me I was gonna have to be here for a month. No, she didn't. They try and herd them in and out. They don't like to keep a body in a bed very long. They don't make as much money that way, so. Anyway, I am going to stop here. I've got a few things I gotta do before darkness hits and the trick-or-treaters come. And gotta finish folding laundry and restart my dryer. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Halloween, and I hope those of you who have children, I hope they have a big time tonight. I remember when Josh was little. It was always fun. I looked forward to it every year. So, for some reason I'm getting hoarse. I don't like it. But it might be because I've been doing a lot of talking. Anyway, I'm going to stop here. People are looking at me funny. And talk to you guys in a while. I'm going to start my editing. Alright, so the huckster just got home, and looks like the dementia's in full force tonight and this evening. He said it was crazy once he got back up there, so Anyway, she was insisting on having her clothes because all these other people were wearing their clothes. She thought she was at the doctor's office. So anyway, they had to correct her on all of that stuff, you know, so they did her blood work today, and after the transfusion, and her blood counts were good, so they're going to check her again in the morning. If they are still good, then we'll go from there. If they're not, then they're going to have to run a scope down and up to find out where she's bleeding. So, however, she is still constipated and they couldn't get her to go, which kind of scares me a little bit. But anyway, she's in a good place. She's at the hospital, so we'll go from there. It might be a long night. It depends on if they call. So, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope you had a great Halloween. I hope you have a wonderful night and a glorious tomorrow. Bye.